Hi there, as you may know, my name is Axel Morales, and today I'm doing my final oral video presentation of this quarter. So, for this presentation, the teacher assigned us a movie, so we had to watch it and give like an opinion. And personally, I feel very grateful and I don't know, lucky that teacher Kata assigned me this movie because it was an incredible movie. Personally, I think that movie is super interesting and very realistic. To be honest, I had not seen it before, but I really liked it. Something curious is that I started watching the movie alone in the living room, and when I saw around me, there was um, it was it was all my family watching the movie with me because they say the movie looked interesting and they watched it with me. Okay, in summary, the film was about how a teacher looked for different educational methods. So the students probably could feel identified with the subject and also feel curious and want to learn more. Based on the main problem that her students were passing or going through. This problem is the cultural shock or cultural difference. This was nothing new in the USA of that time. Well, let's start talking about how a movie makes us realize that being an educator goes beyond more than just giving a class and teaching, and that in fact it is much more than that. Well, personally, I think teachers must have the ability to create connections with their students beyond the classroom. And this is very important because this let us know a little bit more about their interests, emotions, abilities, achievements, their stories, well, practically their lives. And in a case like the one of the students of the room 203, it is very important because it will let us know about which plan we have to follow, which method, which educational method we have to follow to give them like a quickly quickly learning so they will feel identified and more into the subject and more interested into it. I feel that when you're learning and you are very focused on it, like you live your personal life and you just focused on learn it quickly because you're very interested on it. So you want to learn and you want to improve your. The fact here is that all these methods, all these process don't will work if the teacher don't show any interest for its students. And sometimes teachers without the necessary experience shows more interest than the ones that really have experience and knowledge, such as the case of Miss Gruel. She showed more interest and faith toward her students than the teachers that have more experience than her. The other teachers just care about teaching, just giving a class. And good for those who learned and bad for those who didn't. Because they saw their students as young people without a future, without the ability to get ahead, to learn and finish their studies. They just saw young people as lost cases. Another bad point is that they were not sensitive to the individual needs and differences of the students. So, motivating them was not an option for those experienced teachers. In the film, the aforementioned aspects can be evidenced by the attitude of the second principal and one of the teachers. I really admire the patience of Mrs. Gruel. When I saw the students that were assigned to her, I feel like a terrible headache and a lot of anxiety, and I was like, oh my god, that's not possible. But she was very professional, kind, and calm. Something admirable is that after the incidents of that first class, she went super motivated at the second class. Because very inside her heart, she knew that those students have hidden gifts and incredible abilities. And just like that, it was. And thanks to her admirable work, her students developed and learned quickly at the point of falling in love with the subject. And all this was possible thanks to the strategically method that Mrs. Gruel used to know how to put all the disorder in order. She managed all this to create an environment with a lot of respect and trust among all the students, as well as making the young people believe in themselves and in their abilities, and helping them passing their personal problems. In the other hand, Erin Growell struggled the implement of the use of an intercultural curriculum to her group. She also incorporated creative and innovative strategies for the teaching. She also knew how to identify the needs of each of her students. So, from this, she carried out a job in a personalized way. This aspect is very important, since the intercultural education curriculum is an internal process that must take place within the institution. However, it is the educator the one who promotes the change of it. Therefore, if the educational institution had this curriculum as part of its contents, the students will be familiarized with issues such as multiculturalism, respect, and tolerance. Thanks to the disruptive didactics course and the curricular design, I was able to notice that Mrs. Gruel looked for the curricular model that best sits with her students and their peculiar case. I consider that we need more teachers like Mrs. Gruel, really professional people that have that vocation and true love for teaching and loving their students, showing them importance and consideration during the learning process. Although her father told her that she has a lot of potential for other more paid professions, and that she should not waste her energy and her time dedicating to young people who don't care about her waste of time, dedication, about what she's saying. She completely ignored him to follow her dream and her true love of being a teacher. And I really hope to be like that one day, because I felt very identified with the film, because I feel that I don't will be an ordinary teacher. I feel that I have many capacities to relate with people, since this allows me to understand them in a different point of view. You know, their cognitive levels and their mental state at the time of learning. And that's what I pretend to do with my students, to analyze them and find out the way for each one to learn quickly, either the same or in a different way. But this will be with the same quality of education, interest, love, and the importance that I will have as a teacher. In conclusion, it is evident that a change in the education of the students can be given from strategies implemented by the teachers, where both sides, the academic and the needs of the students, are taken into account. And for this interest is needed time and vocation. Also, that the innovative techniques allowed the multicultural gaps to dissipate between the students. Therefore, it is important that teachers and all the professionals immersed in educational centers are trained to deal with different situations that arise in the classroom.